After 3 weeks of searching for an apartment, I had found one at last in New Jersey, a drastic change from the bustling K-Town area I lived in for the past 2 years. Yet, my troubles were far from over. Packing and moving everything in less than a week proved to be an equally challenging process. The first thing I had to do? Declutter and downsize for a more manageable move.
Boxes are heavier than it seems.
I still had junk from my NYU freshman year quarantine that I still had to throw away, and some items were really outdated.
These are puzzle books I received back in freshman year quarantine. Why do I still have these?
Also, I had gained a lot of weight in university, so it was time to discard a lot of clothes.
Oh, fuck off. Are you serious? My dress pants from years ago became skinny jeans. Are you kidding? Yeah, you know it's bad when guys' pants suddenly look like girls' pants. Good morning, welcome back. Verizon shut off my Wi-Fi a day earlier than promised. So yeah, that's kind of sad.
My monthly Wi-Fi cycle was going to end 2 days before I moved out, and since Wi-Fi for those 2 extra days required paying for another full month, I decided not to.
They said end of day 25th it would shut down. It's morning, so now we're using hotspot.
They had also sent me a box to return the router in.
What is this? I don't recall ordering anything. Oh, I freaking knew it. How to return your Wi-Fi router. They really made sure to send this out to me as soon as the Wi-Fi shut down. They were ready for this, man. They were waiting outside my apartment. How is this supposed to fit in this?
Fortunately, I was able to just visit a nearby Verizon in person and physically return the router without going through the hassle of shipping it.
Welcome to dinner. I decided to pack all my plates, so I am now using 2 Go plates that I got. So I guess we're not doing dishes anymore. Moving day morning, I just completely shattered one of my cosmetic bottles. It just made a huge mess on the washing floor. So yeah, that's been my morning. How was yours?
Although I had initially thought of renting a U-Haul and moving everything myself, I didn't want to make my life even harder and instead hired a moving company. Moving was much more complicated than I had expected. I had to acquire elevator and moving permits from both buildings beforehand and make sure that the freight elevator reservation times aligned well. Once we arrived in my new apartment though, everything was super easy. The movers were incredibly quick and efficient throughout the move, and they were out in no time. It was especially convenient since I already knew where I wanted the furniture to go. Days earlier, I'd visited the apartment and measured every single dimension possible, and then made a miniature model to plan the layout. Since my new apartment was smaller by over 80 square feet, I had to find a way to arrange my furniture most efficiently to maximize free space and make sure the unit didn't look too cramped. Lots of ideas were thrown here and there, but ultimately, I found the perfect layout. The bed would be pushed into the alcove so that it would stay out of sight from the front door. The desk would be placed in front of the wide window to take advantage of the stunning view. This gave just enough space for my office chair to fit between the bed and the desk.
It's very cozy. I thought this space would be honestly unbearably narrow, but it's not. I usually sit like this anyway, so there's still this much room. Also, it means that I can put my feet up here or something like that whenever I'm tired.
The bookshelf and nightstand would go in the corner to maximize usable space. And on the other side of the unit, my table and chairs fit perfectly between the 2 walls. This yielded so much free space that I later fit a new dresser next to the bed because my unit didn't have a huge walk-in closet like my Herald Square apartment.
The closet space is kind of atrocious because apparently I just underestimate how many clothes I have, but yeah.
I even accommodated a TV that a friend gave me, proving just how efficient this layout was.
This place actually has a lot of space, more than I thought. I generally thought the table would be somewhere here and it would give me only this much space, but no, this is definitely doable.
Being on the 26th floor with a huge window, I had an incredible view of New Jersey, something that was too much to ask for in my previous apartment. Furthermore, I loved that everything in the apartment was perfectly clean, since I was the first tenant to ever live here. All of the appliances and countertops were white and free of marks or dust, just how I wanted them.
We have so much space. Oh my god, it's so good.
I was already getting excited about my plans to decorate my new home. After everything was moved in, I immediately started unpacking.
And I am done with the pink box unboxing. I'm really glad with the progress I made. Oh my god, look at the place. I installed this thing and I installed this yesterday. It's for this. There we go.
Shortly after though, I began to run into some issues.
Oh, this is prime stuff. In-unit washer dryer. I have a lot of laundry to do today. How exciting. I don't know what that means. Is it not connected to the water?
After finding out that the error was a water connection issue, I called maintenance, and it was fixed the next day.
The washer is working. Turns out there's a problem with that thing, whatever that is. That's like a valve. It was like a 1-button fix.
But right after, I had a problem with the dryer. My clothes weren't drying at all, even after an hour.
Well, after I fixed the washer issue, the dryer is now a problem where it's not drying. It's soaking wet. So we're going old-fashioned, making a drying rack here. These are all wet. Very wet. I don't have a towel for shower. So yeah. I had to shower without a shower curtain. because there are no hooks. And I thought the one in my now old apartment was not mine. I think it's mine, so I'm just gonna bring it back. So yeah, I have a shower curtain, but I couldn't use it. Mini update, the clothes are not dry. I genuinely don't know why the appliances, out of all things, are the issues.
The day before I flew out, the repairman came and he replaced the dryer with a different one from another unit.
Put a wet towel in there, or I'm gonna come back later and check.
Okay.
And see, right?
All right, thank you.
My friend.
All right,
Anytime.
thank you so much.
Anytime.
But afterwards, I found out that the problem wasn't with the dryer. I didn't know these dryers were ventless dryers, which takes double the time to dry anything. I didn't mind the extra time much. As long as I had a functioning in-unit washer and dryer, I was perfectly fine. Finally, internet connectivity was also an issue. I didn't set up Wi-Fi in my new apartment just yet. I was going to go back home to California 4 days after moving in, and since I didn't want to pay for a month of Wi-Fi while I was gone, I resorted to hotspot.
The Wi-Fi situation has gotten much worse, and I can't even connect to something as simple as New York Times Sudoku. I've been doing this for like 10 minutes. It literally worked a bit ago, and now it's not working like at all. I think it's because I'm 26 stories high up. I feel like this is what people in the 70s went through or something. It genuinely takes like a minute to load a page. It's actually kind of hilarious. Oh, there we go.
I'm glad I only had to endure this for 4 days, because not being able to even access Google for another day would have driven me crazy.
Good morning, everyone. Beautiful day. This is my room without any additional lights. This is how bright it is right now. I'm gonna save so much energy. This is wonderful.
Do not use elevators. There has been an emergency reported in the...
Should I be concerned? I don't know. Oh well, back to it.
And that's about it. Like this video if you want to see an apartment tour where I'll be showing every bit of my brand new high-rise unit. I think it'd be interesting to show what a luxury apartment in New Jersey looks like. Thanks for watching. See you later.